So kind of moving along the lines of the food is the reality of food insecurity. And so how does that differ from hunger?
Oh, can't promise not to cry. Let me tell you how. I'll tell you a story.
Okay.
This is how you know. So early on, we got a phone call from the school social worker because all of our families come to us as a direct referral of a school social worker. So early on, I got a phone call, and I remember very clearly, it was a Friday afternoon, and it was like 4:45 or something like this. And she called and said, I've got a family that really needs some help. It's a grandma and a mom and a couple of children, and we really need, to start food service for them. And I said, okay, give me the address. We'll start this Sunday. And she said, well, I don't have any way to let them know you'll be coming. The little girl's already left to go home on the school bus, and they don't have a phone and they don't have transportation. So we really need that. And I said, that's okay. We'll just show up, which is not ideal. That's not usually the way you want to do it. But
Right.
But it was early on, and we were still, personally delivering all the time. And so we show up, and it's a little single wide trailer, a very neat little yard. They've taken basically what we would consider junk and used it as decorations for their yard. And we knock on the door, and they're a little hesitant, but they see we've got food, and so they open the door and invite us in. And in the back of my mind, I remember thinking, they really don't have anything. I don't see any of the typical things you would see in a kitchen or
Right.
even in a house. But, we delivered food to them, and they were thankful for it, but it was a little bit awkward. It always is the first time you deliver, and we left. So we left them food, and we went on. Monday morning, my phone rings, and it's the school social worker, and she said, you're not going to believe this. And I'm like, catch me up. What are we talking about here?
Yeah.
And she said, the family that you delivered to last night, Sunday evening, she said, the one with the grandma and the mom. And I said, yeah. And she goes, the grandma just went to the neighbors and called. And I'm thinking, oh no, something's happened. And she said, no, let me tell you what it is. She said, the grandma called to say thank you, because she said, I was really worried that what we were going to do. She said, when you all delivered last night, they had been without food for 3 days.
Oh my gosh.
And I'm thinking, they had a 2-year-old. I've had 2-year-olds. I have 2-year-old grandchildren. They don't take no for an answer real well. They don't wait. They don't have patience. They don't understand. What do you tell a 2-year-old who hasn't had food for 3 days? How do you make that okay? And she said, it was just amazing. That's hunger in a way we struggle to understand, being completely without food with a 2-year-old for 3 days.
Wow.
So where this gets more interesting is a week later. So a week later, we deliver again. This time, they're on the front porch waiting for us. They don't know exactly when we're going to arrive, Sunday afternoon sometime.
Right.
They're out waiting for us. They come running to the car. Everybody wants to help carry something. They're just jabber, 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 lots of hugs kind of thing. It was just really amazing. It was a fabulous experience. Lots of hugs and everything. Monday morning, my phone rings again.
Wow.
It's the social worker again. I recognize the number. I answer the phone, and she's crying. And I will tell you, if you know a school social worker, if they've worked for more than a year, they don't cry. I mean, they've seen it all. They've
Yeah.
had to guard their heart from some of the
My
horrible
little
things.
sister's in social work.
Yeah. I mean, they have to guard their heart. So after a while, they kind of become hardened a little bit by choice. They compartmentalize that pain. So she's crying, and she's trying to tell me what happened. And I'm like, oh dear. I'm thinking, because it's the mom this time, and I'm thinking, oh, something happened to grandma because she's not in real good health. I'm just imagining everything. She said, no, she called to tell me a funny story. She said, but it's not really funny. And I said, well, tell me. And I'm thinking, you're going to need tissues for this one.
Right.
And she said, so you have to understand, this was like November, and the time had changed, and it's dark outside. The little 8-year-old girl got everybody up in the family, including the 2-year-old, at 6 a.m. on Sunday morning in the dark. Get up, get up, get up, everybody up. We have to start cleaning and putting things away and making it look nice, just in case those nice people bring food again. You see, food insecurity is when an 8-year-old gets up at 6 in the morning to make anything within her environment right that she can, so that it won't interfere with them having food. That's the difference in hunger and food insecurity. Food insecurity doesn't leave a child
Right.
just 3 days without regular and reliable and healthy, nutritious food forever alters the chemicals in a child's brain.
Mm.
It doesn't go away. I have pets that were raised in a food insecure environment that are now so fat they can barely waddle. But the reality is they still hog the food bowl.
Yeah.
Because you never forget. If you see an obese adult, odds are somewhere in their family heritage there was hunger. And they learned habits that they can't overcome and they don't even understand.